Okay. Psalms 23. Yahweh is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of Yahweh forever. Psalms 34 verse 9. O fear Yahweh, you his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek Yahweh shall not want any good thing. Yahweh is Elohim. It is he who made us, and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. What is it that keeps you from real joy? What is it? How would you fill in this blank? I will be happy when... You will be happy when what? When you are healed? You'll be happy when you are promoted? Will you be happy when you're rich? Will you be happy when you own your own home? How about get your car paid off? Now what if whatever you put in that blank happens? Would it really make you happy? I would like for us to go to a prison that is the most populated prison in the world. There are more residents there than there are resources. These inmates say they are overworked and underfed. This prison has more people in it, is more oppressive and more permanent than any other prison that exists. The walls are bare and the bunks are hard. Most that are in this prison are there for life. Some get out for a short while, but they seem to always return. Even though it is an overcrowded facility, the people want to be there. What do you think that prison's name would be called if there was a sign over that door as you enter in? It would be in 4 letters, W-A-N-T, want. You see, we find many that are not satisfied with life and are encased in the prison of want. They always want something more. It has to be bigger, nicer. How about faster or greater? It does not have to be much, just a little more. Little more than what they have. One thing more. Like a new job, or a new car, a new friend. When that one comes, they will be happy. Once the happiness comes, they leave that prison of want. But then it happens. The car loses its new smell. The new job becomes routine and not a challenge. The neighbor buys a new, bigger screen TV. The new friend becomes dull. So they return to the prison of want willingly. Let me ask you, do you feel better when you have more and worse when you are in need? If your happiness is dependent on what you deposit, or what you drive, or what you drink or digest, you are in that prison of want. Now that's the bad news. But we have good news. There is a man named David who comes to us and tells us the secret of satisfaction. Yahweh is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. You see, David is saying that he has found a pasture where discontent goes to die. What I have in Elohim is greater than what I don't have in this life. Let's think about the things we own, like the car you drive, or the house you live in, the clothes you have in your closet and drawers, and maybe the stocks you've bought for your portfolio. All that stuff. What about all that stuff? All that stuff is not yours. Take time to visit the funeral director and ask how many of the people he has taken care of has taken any of that stuff with them. It once was asked about John D. Rockefeller, how much did he leave behind when he dies? His estate man said all of it. Ecclesiastes 5:15, as he came forth of his mother's womb, naked shall he return, to go as he came, and shall take nothing of his labor, which he may carry away in his hand. Another thing, all that stuff is not you. Who you are has nothing to do with the clothes that you wear. Fashion. Or the car you drive. It loses value just as soon as you get in it and leave the lot. You haven't done anything yet. You just run home. Or the things you possess. They are all subject to decay and wear out. Or the money you have. Interest you gain versus interest they charge you. Yeshua said it this way in Luke 12, verse 15. And he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consists not in the abundance of the things which he possesses. Life is not defined by what you have, even when you have a lot. You know, there's an old saying everybody says, he who dies with the most toys wins. That's a lie. It might be stated like this: you are not known in Yahweh's kingdom for the nice suit you have on, or the nice house you dwell in, or the new bike you just purchased. It's what's in your heart that is known about you. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7. But Yahweh said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For Yahweh sees not as man sees. For man looks on the outward appearance, but Yahweh looks on the heart. Yahweh does not look at the things that man looks at. Man looks at the outward appearance, but Yahweh looks at your heart. What does Yahweh notice about you? Does he notice your compassion? Does he notice your devotion? Does he notice your tenderness? Does he notice your will and spirit? He does not notice what things you have. So when you think about yourself, it is not good to think about the things you have, because in doing that, you will feel happy when you have a lot, and you will feel sad when you don't have much. Paul said it this way in Philippians chapter 4, verse 11. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned, in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Messiah, which strengthens me. There was a man who knew this. He found out he had MS. This disease cost him his career. This disease cost him his mobility and his life. He was not able to feed himself or walk and had to have help to get from place to place. He never lost his sense of thankfulness. It was seen in his prayer list. His friends in church asked him for a list that they could pray with him about. He gave them a list of 18 blessings that he was thankful for and 6 concerns for which he to be in prayer about. So you can see the math here. His blessings outweighed his need 3-1. He was a man that learned contentment. He knew who his shepherd was. How about you? How are you doing about that? Do you know who your shepherd is? Then there's a story about a leper on an island of Tobago, which a short-term missionary met. On the final day of his trip, he asked the leper if she had a favorite song. She turned around and looked at him with the most disfigured face he had ever seen. She had no nose or ears, and her lips were gone. She raised her fingerless hand and she asked, "Could we sing, 'Count Your Many Blessings'?" The missionary started the song, but did not make it all the way through without breaking into tears. When asked about the song, he said, "I'll sing it again, but never in the same way I have ever done before." Then there's a story about a minister named Ross Blowers. He was once asked to speak at a Rotary Club about his profession. He wanted to say more than "I'm a preacher." So this is his talk. This is what he said. "Hi, I'm Ross Blowers. I'm with the Global Enterprise. We have branches in every country of the world. We have representatives in nearly every parliament and boardroom on earth. We are into motivation and behavior alteration. We run hospitals, feeding stations, crisis pregnancy centers, universities, publishing houses, nursing homes. We care for clients from birth to death. We are into life insurance and fire insurance," he said. "We perform spiritual heart transplants. Our original organizer owns all the real estate on Earth, plus an assortment of galaxies and constellations. He knows everything and lives everywhere. Our product is free for the asking. There is not enough money to buy it. Our CEO was born in a hick town, worked as a carpenter, didn't own a house, was misunderstood by his family and hated by his enemies. Walked on water, was condemned to death without a trial, and rose from the dead. I talk with him every day." Another one is a Puritan sits down to pray over his meal of bread and water, and he said, "All this and Jesus too." We all need to know we have a shepherd. Elohim, who hears us when we call. One who shows his power by love. who sent his Holy Spirit to live in us. One who has all of his kingdom waiting for us. I go away and prepare a place for you. A shepherd who has grace that can be available for every sin. One that guides us in every direction we take. One who can dispel darkness when we are in darkness with his light. One who can give us stability when the storms of life come breaking in on our lives. A shepherd that no one can take away. A diagnosis of cancer can infect your salvation. I've been there and done that. Being short of money, even for the need, can't diminish your prayer life. Been there and done that. A storm might come and destroy your things, but can't touch your home in his kingdom. You may have a good position in life right now, but it will pass. Been there and done that. But your place in his kingdom is forever. There's a story about a person who came to the minister to be counseled one day, and he had lost his money, all of his money. He says, "I've lost everything." The minister said, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear you have lost your faith." The man says, "No, I've not lost my faith." The minister said, "Well, then I'm sorry to hear that you lost your character." The man says, "I didn't say that. I still have my character." The minister said, "I'm sorry to hear you have lost your salvation." "I didn't say that. I haven't lost my salvation." The minister said, "You have your faith. You have your character. You have your salvation. Seems to me that you've lost none of the things that really matter." May this day be the day that you are set free from the prison of want. May it be the day that you may rejoice. Yahweh is my shepherd, and I shall not be in want. Yahweh bless.
Hallelujah.